So, good morning, afternoon, and evening to everyone, depending on which part of the world you've logged in from. And welcome to the second edition of the USAID and Reliance Foundation Women Connect India Speaker Series. Today's webinar, first of the second edition of the series, is about digitization in rural and marginalized communities. My name is Ritesh Datta. I am a gender and technology advisor at DAI Global and your host for the series. And thank you so much for joining us today. Women Connect Challenge, as you all know, is a groundbreaking initiative started in 2018, which focuses on the role of technology in empowering women. Women Connect Challenge India is the national version of the initiative, rolled out jointly by USAID and Reliance Foundation in partnership with DAI. The speaker series planned as part of the community of practice that was set up for the India Challenge, that has been set up for the India Challenge winners, that is all of you. Each month, as you know, we invite domain specialists to support you, the grantees, to bolster your understanding of gender digital divide and design impactful programs. The upcoming monthly webinars planned on the critical topics as part of this series, and I have to say thank you to everyone for your feedback at the end of the speaker series version 1, which helped us design all of these. So the ones that are upcoming include digital content for rural women, which we host on in June. Then we talk about digital financial inclusion and entrepreneurship in May. And sorry, the first one in May, the second one in June. And then in July, we look at data collection, analysis, and impact measurement for gender digital divide. This webinar is the first of the speaker series edition 2, named, as I said before, Digitization in Rural and Marginalized Communities. It is no secret that we are, globally moving from being resource-driven economies to knowledge-based economies, supported by rapid technological advancements and internet penetration. The internet worldstats.com estimates that more than 65% of the global population, as on 2021, were accessing internet, uh, for various reasons. But the website also demonstrates that this internet penetration, nothing new to us, is skewed and unequal. Compare the 94% internet penetration in North America to just 45% in India, despite rapid progress in the country. Reports show similar trends in access, usage, and ownership of hardwares, such as mobile phones, for example. It is an established fact that majority of people who are offline globally are women in developing countries, along with the elderly. In India, 48% of the population are women, and 10% are above the age of 60. Inclusive development necessitates that we look at strategies targeted at getting such groups online. With this context in mind, allow me to introduce our speakers today. They bring enormous experience in working with rural and marginalized communities in India, in Bangladesh, and many of the Asian countries. And I'm grateful to them that they agreed to share their valuable time and experience with us. We have today with us Dr. Sharbani Banerjee Belur from IIT Bombay and also Association for Progressive Communications, and her colleagues Vandana Sandeep Chaudhary, who's an entrepreneur, and Manisha Manoj Power, a community resource person, both from the Indian state of Maharashtra. We also have with us Archie, Khalid and Neela, founder of Women in Digital Bangladesh, and her colleague Kuhalika Roy Puja, who is a web developer at Women in Digital. Thank you, speakers, for joining us, and welcome to this series. I also wanted to remind all of you that we have a hashtag for this program, same as the last time, which is hashtag WCC India. Please remember to keep posting content on the social media platforms you're active in, including on our community of practice site, during and after this webinar. Remember to use the hashtag WCC India on all your posts. Also, remember to keep posting your questions on the chat box as they come up, or if you have a notepad, remember to write them down. And we will ask our esteemed guests to answer these questions during the Q&A session at the end of the presentations. We will also open up the conversation for you to ask questions directly to the speakers after their presentation. So you can use your notes then. Um, Coming to the main event, let me start inviting our speakers for their presentations. The first speakers today are Dr. Sharbani Banerjee Belur and her colleagues Vandana Chaudhary and Manisha Power. Sharbani is the Asia Regional Coordinator for Association for Progressive Communications, or APC, for the community networks connecting the unconnected project, and is also a senior research scientist at the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Bombay. She holds a PhD in demography from the University of Groningen, the Netherlands, and has published in journals, chapters, and has authored a book in the areas of demography and social issues around rural connectivity. She has been working in the domain of rural connectivity for the past 6 years as part of a project at IIT Bombay focused on increasing digital outreach to remote and rural areas of India, deployment of new technology alternatives for the middle and the last mile internet connectivity, and the development of sustainable models with a focus on gender. Our colleagues are Vandana, who is a new generation e-dost, and Sharwani will tell you more about what e-dosts are, located in Jangalpada, Johar, Maharashtra. She's a self-built entrepreneur who wants to try out the best possible options for the growth of her entrepreneurial journey, supported by her husband and family. Vandana is a mother, a community worker, and a teacher who also motivates other women in these remote locations to become e-dosts. We also have with us Manisha, who is also an e-dost and a community resource person, apart from being a mother from Wanganpara in Maharashtra. And she facilitates online banking services for community members in our area. Over to you, Sharbani, Vandana, and Manisha.
Thank you, Ritesh. Thanks a lot. Hello, everyone. Um, I will like to begin my presentation first with a short snippet about what is the ethos model about. And then we will have Vandana and Manisha come in to talk about their experiences of being an ethos. So please allow me to share my screen and my presentation. Yeah, hope you can see my presentation. Yeah.
It's coming up, Sharbani. Yes, we can see it now.
Yes. So I'm going to speak about meaningful connectivity, community networks, breaking barriers and divides. So I am Sharbani Belur, and I'm the Asia Regional Coordinator for Association for Progressive Communications, and I am the Senior Research Scientist at the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, in the Department of Electrical Engineering. I work in the area, so my research areas are quite sort of more into the rural domain. I seed community networks to grow in remote rural locations where there is no penetration of connectivity whatsoever. I also do a lot of field implementation of community networks, working together with the community, participation of the community for setting up the network deployment, making connectivity meaningful, like, how do they use the connectivity in their day-to-day lives, the semi-literates and the non-literates. Frugal technology innovation is another thing that we are working on. I'm working on. I look into the open source hardware router for community networks. Of course, gender and access is one of the domains that I also look into. And focus on understanding women's usage of technology, developing sustainable business models. And I have developed a sustainable business model, which is called the 4P model, that is the public-private Panchayat partnership model, for enabling connectivity to sustain itself in the last mile, even after the project funding is over. So that the community starts earning an income out of it, and also contributing to the operation and maintenance of the connectivity. I also identify funding options for rural connectivity, like the Government of India initiatives, talk with local internet service providers so that connectivity can be enabled in the last mile. and promotion of local art, craft, and culture is one of the focus areas also. Have published quite a lot, and you can see the list of publications here. So I have focused quite a lot of my work on gender and access, as well as the different things that I just spoke about being my research areas. Yeah, so let me go into the context, deep dive into the context. Now, rural connectivity challenges in India. As you all must be knowing that rural India does face a lot of challenges for connectivity. One of the important things is unavailability of fiber backhaul. Though the government of India is actually working quite a lot on enabling fiber connectivity with the with the BharatNet optical fiber network, that will reach 250,000 gram panchayats in India, but it is a distant dream still. Then there is this low average revenue per user. The telecom operators don't want to enter into these remote locations because they don't find it as a lucrative business model for them to get subscribers and sort of enable connectivity over there. And the third important thing is intermittent availability of electricity. So there is no electricity, 24 into 7 electricity, which makes it very difficult for the devices to sustain over there because of so frequent power outages. The devices conk off very soon. And then on the other side is a supply and demand thing that ISP is unwilling to go because of low average revenue per user. And on the other hand, there is this lack of demand from these rural areas. However, if you look into rural India's dependency on connectivity, there is a lot of dependency, and it's not a very unknown fact. It is a well-known fact, and everything is geared towards being digital now. Some of the things that are like, use of manual records by the auxiliary nurse midwives, ASHA workers in the primary healthcare centers that require connectivity. If they don't upload their tracking data online, then they don't even get their salaries. Then teachers are asked to upload attendance, scholarship of students in schools, and no ATMs and banks in the villages because of no connectivity. And e-governance services are unable to reach the people. Yeah. But on the other hand, I would like to mention that is connectivity just enabling connectivity? Is it meaningful? Because it makes no sense to just enable connectivity, trickling mobile signals coming in, people availing of these signals at any point on the hill or the tallest branch of the tree. It doesn't make sense for semi-literates and low-literate people because again, that's something which is very much needed actually. Internet usage in the day-to-day lives of people. People really want to make utilization of the internet in their day-to-day lives. And internet for enhancing livelihoods is certainly one of the major concerns of the people in these rural areas. Then comes the issues of privacy and security because they don't know how to deal with giving out passwords and things of that sort. So their privacy and security is infringed upon, and they don't have any idea about it also. And of course, the social divides that are being bridged by just enabling connectivity. Does it bridge the gender divide? Does it bridge the caste divide, the class divide in India? So such are the questions that come into the minds of us when we enable just connectivity. Now, what are the solutions? So what I do is that I seed community networks to grow. And what are these community networks? These are networks, internet networks, not necessarily online networks always. These are networks that are set up by the people for the people. So the community sets up these networks based on their needs and requirements. And there is an understanding for the need for connectivity because people want to understand why do they want to use the connectivity. And just the previous slide that I mentioned, it comes from it that their understanding for the need of connectivity. if they want to use it for setting up a primary healthcare center, being connected to the remote hospital, then they use it for that. If they want it for the banking services, they use it for that. And it is owned by the community. So the community owns this type of internet network. Sustainability of connectivity is enabled through partnership and entrepreneurship models. So we also look into how these networks can be sustainable, and that is through partnerships and entrepreneurship models. Ethos is one of them, which where Vandana Tai and Manisha Tai will be speaking about it. And of course, this brings in a lot of gender equality for use and utilization, because if you look into it, the connectivity, when it is enabled in these rural villages, women tend to use it much less than the men. And everything is local because it's community based. So everything is local into it. And I will explain a little bit about this local thing a little later. Now, this is just one study that has been done by me that we enabled connectivity for 6 months, and we tried to understand that how do women use it. And we see that women use the connectivity much less than men use because of power relations and hierarchy that dissuade women to use the connectivity. Some of the challenges are, of course, shared smartphone, inability to use digital literacy is not there. They are unable to even maneuver their smartphones and web stalking, unknown callers, missed calls, etc. So these are some of the challenges that they face. Now, how do illiterate women use the connectivity? So we tried tracking these women for 6 months, and we saw that there is a passive use of connectivity by the illiterate women. It is mostly WhatsApp calling, online movies that they watch, daily shows on Hotstar, and an average per day use is 1 to 2 hours per day. Whereas the literate women use it both actively and passively. So there is an average use of 5 to 6 hours a day. They do a lot of other things rather than just passively watching. They do a lot of online shopping, looking for health information, YouTube videos being used by women's self-help groups, and they also get involved in the social media like WhatsApp, Hike, and Messenger. Now, when we enable this type of connectivity, we see that women start using it, and Ethos is one model of it. Um, uh, uh, so when unconnected, what happens? When these people are completely, some of these locations where we work in are completely in permanently unconnected locations, and they will continue to remain unconnected for a long time because of the geographical terrain that they. So, like it's a village that is covered by three hills on three sides, for example. These locations can never get connectivity. And sometimes it is indigenous tribal communities, and of course women they don't know how to use the connectivity, and they also are disadvantaged to use the connectivity. And they want to use very frugal and cost effective technologies. They don't want to use something very out of the, it's they have to put their heads and brains into using it. They want to use frugal and cost effective technologies, and they want to focus largely on local knowledge, because that is the thing that they have with them. They don't know English, they don't know anything, but they know about their local knowledge, and they want to use it when they use the internet. So, well, we try to connect all these locations that are completely unconnected. Um, uh, so I work with Association for Progressive Communications, and we began this work in the year 2018. We work with peer grantees, 12 peer grantees, 4 each in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. We also work with catalytic grantees, again, in different locations. We also work with micro-organizations through the FCDO grant project, where we are trying to set up a school of community network. So in Asia, it is Indonesia is a focus country. And more about our project can be found in this web link. And about the Asia Community Network peers is found in this web page, which is not yet gone live. But you all can have a look at it and see, have a idea about the different organizations that work with us. Now, in 2018, in collaboration with BIF Development Research Foundation, and funded by Association for Progressive Communications, IIT Bombay, and Grammar, we set up a community network. which is called the Women First Approach in Community Network in a very remote location called Pathardi in Jawahar in Maharashtra. So the photograph, uppermost photograph on the right hand side is the location. So you can see that it is in the valley surrounded by hills on three sides. Now, what we did was that we enabled one of the community members, women, a lady called Anjali Vajre, and she was our e-dost. She is the first e-dost who has been enabled the online connectivity through the usage of a SIM card-based cellular router, and she enables all these services, gamut of services like Aadhaar, IRCTC, Digital India, mobile recharge, banking facilities. Everything is enabled through just a smartphone and an AEPS-enabled, Aadhaar-enabled payment system. That's it. And she doesn't use anything else, and the Wi-Fi signals from the SIM card. Yeah, and the rest of the network is an offline mesh network, which is like wherein we aggregate all the local knowledge of the community. That is where the community comes into participating in the network, where the entire thing, their local knowledge that is related to art and craft, various things that they have, biodiversity preservation, everything comes onto that platform and is shared by the community. We did this deployment by the community. So we set up this network there, which the community helped us in setting up. And we have the e-dost. So this is the digital village catalyst. Now, if you see, because we enable only women to become e-dosts, and Vandana Tai and Manisha Tai are the two e-dosts now. We set up 5 e-dosts during our APC funded project in 2018-19, and now it has gone up to 50 e-dosts. And all over India, wherever BIF is working, they have 72 e-dosts. So it is wherein the women enable the financial services, life skills, survey mapping, documentation, e-governance services, literacy, and value chain. So they are responsible for all these things, which little bit more the e-dosts themselves will say. And the partnership model that has been developed, we followed this partnership model, which is the private-public Panchayat partnership model, wherein the local government has come into partnership with us they give us the space, we use and we share resources with the Gram Panchayat, and the e-dosts help the Gram Panchayat and the community to enable different services through that online connectivity. So this is Anjali Vajre on the left-hand side in the orange dress, and these are the art and craft that the community has, which we set it up on this platform. On the left-hand side is the knowledge sharing platform, which is offline form, which is filled in by the villagers themselves about the biodiversity that is around them. They keep all the information in this knowledge sharing platform. And on the right hand side are the products that are identified, and we sell it online in the WebCall platform. So this platform is the location where the e-commerce takes place, and the money goes directly to the farmers or the producers. So there is no middleman in between. So I end my presentation here. And I would now request Vandana Tai and Manisha Tai to please switch on your videos, and I will ask them 2 questions. So Vandana Tai, आप प्लीज आपका वीडियो ऑन करेंगे?
Yes. नमस्कार मैडम.
हाँ, नमस्ते वंदना ताई. हेलो वंदना ताई, आप प्लीज आपका एक्सपीरियंस बताइए. आप ई-दोस्त बने, कब से बने, आपको कैसे इम्पैक्ट हुआ है वो? आप ऐसा औरत हो, आप कम्युनिटी के लिए काम कर रहे हो, आपको कैसा वो इम्पैक्ट हुआ है? 1 मिनट, मैं सबको बता देती हूँ मैं आपको क्या क्वेश्चन पूछी. So I asked her the question that what has been her experience being an e-dost, and how would she want to explain it as a woman herself, as a community worker? How would she like to explain? So over to you, Vandana Tai, please आप बताइए.
नमस्कार, माझं नाव वंदना संदीप चौधरी, गाव जंगलपाडा, तालुका जव्हार. ह्याच्यामध्ये बायफ तर्फे म्हणजे ई दोस्त जेव्हा शोधत होते त्याच्यामध्ये आमच्या गावामध्ये डिस्ट्रीब्युटर फिरत होते आणि त्याच्यानंतर माझं सिलेक्शन झालं. बायफला इंटरव्ह्यू झाला. इंटरव्ह्यू मध्ये फर्स्ट क्लास म्हणजे त्यांनी इंग्लिशमध्ये हिंदीमध्ये जे पण क्वेश्चन विचारले ते आम्ही म्हणजे दिले. त्याच्यानंतर त्याच्यामध्ये सिलेक्शन झालं आणि सिलेक्शन झाल्यानंतर हा टेक्निकल म्हणजे जे पण
वंदना ताई थोड़ा सा रुकिए, मैं उनको समझा देती हूँ, फिर आप फिर से बोलिए. हाँ, ठीक है. Yeah, so yes, her name is Vandana Chaudhary, and she lives in Jangalpada in Jawhar in Maharashtra. She has got selected as a e-dost through a selection process that has taken place through BIF, Development Research Foundation, wherein she was asked a few questions both in Hindi and in Marathi, and she fared very well in it. And she has been selected as the e-dost. Yeah, Vandana Tai, bataiye. Yes.
उसके बाद फिर मोबाइल का इतना नॉलेज नहीं था, मतलब कि मैं कर पाऊंगी या नहीं कर पाऊंगी ऐसा. बाद में वो ट्रेनिंग ये सब होने के बाद मतलब बायोफ के जो सर है उन्होंने बहुत सारा हेल्प किया. मतलब मोबाइल यूज कैसे करना है ये सब उन्होंने बताया.
Okay, 1 minute. So she did not have a very good knowledge about using the mobile phone, the smartphone, and the other services. So she's trained to use those services and the usage of mobile phone through BIF Development Research Foundation, and that has been sort of she has liked that experience, that where she has been trained to do that now. Yes, बताइए फिर से. हाँ, बोलिए.
त्याच्यानंतर म्हणजे ऑगस्ट 2020 पासून म्हणजे ते चालू होतं इंटरव्ह्यू वगैरे. त्याच्यानंतर डिसेंबर 2020 पासून माझं लर्निंग काम सुरू झालं. पहिल्यांदा मी घरातच म्हणजे घरातच हे केलं. त्याच्यानंतर जानेवारी पासून मार्च पर्यंत, मार्च एप्रिल मे या 3 महिन्यामध्ये माझं इन्कम पण वाढलं आणि लोकांना जी सेवा देते ती पण वाढल्यानंतर मग एपीसी प्रोजेक्टद्वारे मला एक लॅपटॉप आणि प्रिंटर मिळालं. आणि लॅपटॉप आणि प्रिंटर मिळालं असं झालं की लोकांना आणखीन सेवा गावामध्ये भरपूर उपलब्ध झाल्या, जेणेकरून डिजिटल सातबारा आपण काढू शकतो. डिजिटल जेवढ्या पण सेवा असतील तेवढ्या मी पूर्णपणे लोकांना देते. आणि हे सगळं करत असताना ह्या वेळी लोकांना जवळजवळ 20 ते 30 किलोमीटर जव्हारला जावं लागत होतं आणि 40 रुपये भाडं, हे परत 40-80 रुपये म्हणजे हे लोकांचं वाचलं. त्याच्यानंतर म्हणजे लोकांचा खूप फायदा झाला ह्याच्यामध्ये. जरी माझं इन्कम छोटस असेल तरी पण लोकांचा फायदा झाला. आणि मानकम त्यांच्या ह्याच्यावर असेल तसं त्यांना. हा,
Vandana, 1 minute. So she began in the year. So she, as I told, she is the second cohort of EDOS. So she began her work in the month of December, January, and from January 2020 till May 2020, she could enable so many digital services to the people in her community in these villages. She is happy about it, and by enabling the services in the village, people save a lot of money. Otherwise, they would go to avail these services in the cities and town. So she says that it is 40 rupees one way going and 40 rupees coming. Apart from it, they also lose their daily wages because they are all agricultural laborers. So they lose their daily wages. So she enables these services in the village itself for the people, and she has been liking that a lot. Through the APC project, she has been given the laptop and the printer. And apart from it, most of the other things is an investment that has been done by her and facilitated by the training from Bayer. हाँ वंदना ताई बोला.
हा मॅम त्याच्यानंतर मग म्हणजे हे सगळं करत असताना लॅपटॉपला रेंजची खूप मोठा प्रॉब्लेम होता. म्हणजे लॅपटॉपला भरपूर नेट लागायचा आणि जंगलपाडा असा एरिया आहे का ह्याच्यामध्ये बिलकुल नेट नव्हता आणि एपीसी प्रोजेक्ट द्वारा मला ते पण म्हणजे राउटर मिळालं लावून. त्याच्यानंतर गावामध्ये पण असं सीट बसवलं. त्याच्यानंतर मग म्हणजे गावातल्या पण काही जे तरुण वर्ग आहेत मोबाईल वापरणारे त्यांना पण ते नेट आपण एक म्हणजे बेस बनवून टार्गेट जो पण आहे प्लॅन त्याच्यानुसार आपण ते यूज पण करायला देतो असं ह्याचा पण म्हणजे एक फायदा झाला.
Yeah. So she started she tried using it on the laptop, but the connectivity was not so good. So that's the reason why she started using it through the cellular router, which is again something that has been facilitated by the APC project. And so everyone comes to her at her doorstep, and she uses the connectivity at that location in her house through the use of cellular router, and she enables the services. So a wide range of services are provided by Vandana Tai in her village, starting from the banking services, like cash withdrawal, cash deposit, seeing how much of balance is there in the account, to e-governance services like Shram card is something that the Manrega, or the money that comes into the villagers' account for their work, for the work that they do. So all this has been facilitated by her, and she charges for each of the services that she provides to the people. She charges a minuscule amount of commission for each of the services, and that is how she earns her income. So she has a standard rate for each services, and each of these services, like for 100 rupees it is 5 rupees, and so on and so forth. So she keeps this is the amount that the people in the village give her when they take her services. Yeah, so that's और आप कैसे वंदना ताई, आप कैसे, आपको क्या अच्छा लग रहा है, आपको आपको इससे क्या फायदा हो रहा है, जल्दी से बता दीजिए.
हाँ मैम, लास्ट में यही बोलना चाहती हूँ कि मतलब ये जो बायफ ने और एपीसी प्रोजेक्ट द्वारा जो मुझे मतलब एक डेवलपमेंट मिली या सक्सेस लेडी बोलते हैं ना, वो मुझे मतलब प्राउड फील हो रहा है. मतलब ये सब मैं यूज करती हूँ आसानी से. मतलब किसी को बताने की या किसी को जैसे बोलते हैं ना मांगने की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं खुद करती हूँ. घर का जो भी है रहेगा वो मतलब घर में एक क्या बोलते हैं इनकम, ये सब मेरी वजह से मतलब घर में चलता है.
Okay,
थोड़ा
thank you.
हाथ हाथ बार.
Okay, so she
तो
is
एपीसी
she
प्रोजेक्ट और बायो का धन्यवाद.
okay.
एपीसी
So
प्रोजेक्ट और बायो का मेरे धन्यवाद.
नहीं, आप भी खुद से आपके इनिशिएटिव से किए हैं. हम तो सिर्फ अब हमारा हाथ बढ़ाए हैं, आप आपके इनिशिएटिव से किए हो. So she is saying that she feels a lot empowered, economically empowered, is what because she runs the household with her own income, and she feels confident that she is not asking anyone for anything, so she can do things on her own. Is the confidence level of her. Yeah. So the next person is Manisha Tai. Manisha, आप बता सकते हो कि आपको कैसे लगता है ई दोस्त बनके, आपका कैसा कैसा फीलिंग है ये ई दोस्त आप बने हो, आपको कैसा लगता है, अच्छा लगता है, बुरा लगता है, क्या लगता है? मनीषा ताई.
मला ई दोस्त नमस्कार मॅडम.
हाँ नमस्ते.
मला ई दोस्त बनून चांगलं वाटलं आणि मी म्हणजे सर्व माणसांच्या सुविधा पूर्ण करते. जव्हारला जायला त्यांना 20 ते 40 रुपये भाडं लागत होतं. तिथं आता मीच पूर्ण करून देते. त्यांचे पैसे वगैरे काढणे, लाईट बिल भरणे आणि मोबाईल रिचार्ज वगैरे घरीच करून भेटतं. म्हणून लोकांना खूप फायदा झालाय आणि
Okay.
लोकांचा वेळ पण
बोलिए. Okay, so let me translate what she said. So Manisha also lives in Vanganpada, where there is trickling mobile signals coming in at certain locations. So she also uses a cellular router, SIM card based cellular router, and enables services at the doorsteps of people in the village. Banking services is something that she does enable along with the other services as well, like mobile recharge and all. She feels very happy that she can help the community, and she is thankful to the project about making her empowered. So yeah, so that's from me. Manisha Tai, Vandana Tai, thank you. Thanks a lot. And it has been, their meeting today has been facilitated by BIF Development Research Foundation at Jawahar. Thank you. So
Thank you so much, Sharbani. वंदना ताई, मनीषा ताई, मला मराठी बोलता येत नाही.
येत नाही.
तो मैं हिंदी में ही बोलता हूँ. थैंक यू सो मच. आप लोग आए और अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया. And Sharbani, thank you so much for facilitating this. And thank you, Tay. I'll just quickly jump on to our next speakers. We are not doing great on time, but this is great in conversation, so I don't want to miss any of it. Our next speakers are Mrs. Archie Khalida Neela. Neela is the founder of Women in Digital Empowerment Through Technology in Bangladesh. She is a computer engineer by education and is a digital production professional, having done some great work in the emerging technology space in Bangladesh. She's also an international IT expert for the International Telecommunications Union, the ITU, and the first person from Bangladesh to be selected for this position. She also runs an accelerator program for women named Digital Innovation Challenge for Women, and serves as a mentor and advisor for many local and international startups. And she also has with her Kuhelika Roy Puja, who is from a small village in Bangladesh, joined Women in Digital as a community ambassador, but has now progressed through her education and learning at work to become a web developer in the organization, supporting local and international clients of the organization. So over to you, Neela and Puja.
Thank you so much, Ritesh. And I will start with a small video. So
Please, yeah.
let's in Bangladesh, we are living in a conservative country. We always depend on our parents. If any of the Bangladeshi girl want to access the internet, we always need to prove ourselves, then we get the permissions. At the same time, if I think about my brother and other boys, they are able to access the internet very easily. But for the women, it's a bit tough. We need to convince everybody. First time I used the internet, I think, oh my God, this is the thing actually I needed. You need to ask so many people when we need any information. But this is the first time I realized I don't need anybody. I need only this device.
উইমেন ইন ডিজিটাল বলতে সাধারণত বোঝানো হয়েছে যে এখানে মেয়েরা অর্থনৈতিকভাবে স্বাবলম্বী হবে এবং সেটা প্রযুক্তির মাধ্যমে। আসলে আমাদের ট্যাগলাইনই হচ্ছে প্রযুক্তির মাধ্যমে উন্নয়ন, দ্যাটস এম্পাওয়ারমেন্ট থ্রু টেকনোলজি।
In our tech school, we are teaching the development things like software development process, like Android application development, iOS application development, web application development.
সেটাকে বলি আমরা সার্ভার।
কুড়িগ্রামে আমাদের যে মেয়েগুলো আছে এরা বেশিরভাগই বাল্যবিবাহের শিকার। এদের অল্প বয়সী চাইল্ড ম্যারেজ, তাদেরকে আমরা বাসা থেকে মানে কনভিন্স করে নিয়ে আসা, ট্রেনিং দেয়, তাদেরকে আইটি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে এই জন্য নিয়ে আসা যাতে তারা নিজেরা স্বাবলম্বী হতে পারে। আর আমরা সবাই জানি যে আইটি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে যদি কারো কাছে ল্যাপটপ থাকে, ইন্টারনেট থাকে, দে ক্যান ডু এনিথিং।
ওটা একদম বাংলায় সুন্দর করে বলে দিয়েছে যে আমরা কোনো একটা প্রোডাক্ট, if I think about peri-urban area, then it's a bit easy to access the internet and access the smartphone. If I think about rural area like Kurigram and other places, it's really tough to access the mobile phone. So if they are not able to access the mobile phone, then how can they access the internet?
আমরা চেষ্টা করছি এখানে আমাদের এই স্কুলের মাধ্যমে তাদেরকে সাহায্য করার। এখানে আমাদের সবসময় নেট অ্যাভেলেবেল এবং এখানে ল্যাপটপ অ্যাভেলেবেল, সো উই ক্যান হেল্প দেম।
Our feeling was if we give them some training and after that they are able to work from their home, they feel economical empowered, then they are not getting married very early age. So now I will giving a small presentation regarding women in digital, and then Pooja will describe actually how we are working, how she's connecting with the community, and her experience and other things. So we have in this year we have successfully complete 9 years from Women in Digitals, and we started in Bangladesh, and now we are also expanding out of Bangladesh like Nepal, and we also trying to expand in other Asian countries and definitely development countries too. So why actually Women in Digitals? So there are few number of women, they are come in the tech industry, and what we have seen every day we are losing lots of money for our national GDP because we women are not equally part of this IT industry or the digital industry. So in that time I designed my project and I was focusing only the urban area when I take the initiative. But when I start working in urban area and I get good response, then I realized actually urban is not only part of Bangladesh, rural area also part of the Bangladesh, and obviously in if I think about the Asia, so all the rural areas are same, all the urban area almost same. So I design a project think about the rural, urban, and also the regional things like Asia, and also developed country and developing countries. So and when I start working in a rural area, in that time I think I observe actually it's really tough to give them the pure technical knowledge like coding, programming, and other things. And the thing is, because the rural area, we are not getting the enough skilled people. They are just in learning stage, like they have a small bit of education. They are not much educated in our rural area. So we designed what we can do over there. We have designed different things for rural area and urban area. So for urban area, we are focusing on high tech. Like we always told we are doing two things. One is we make women technologists, and another group we are making them tech enabled. So how they are working in if I consider the urban area, so we have a technical schools where they are come and we make them our community leader, or they are become our ambassador, and they are taking their technical knowledge like soft skill, programming language, design, graphics, and everything. And after that, they are working our software companies. So it is one model, those who are a bit educated. But for the rural Bangladesh, we developed another thing, that is e-commerce and women in agrotech. So how these two models work? When we start teaching coding in the rural Bangladesh, in that time we have seen they are not able to take that things, and we need to decide something different, like which they can learn very fast and earn. And another thing, there are lots of women, they are not totally literated persons. So, but our motive is we bring them also in the technical field. So we want to make them tech enabled. And how can we do that? So we are thinking actually what they have that can we use in our model. So in one interesting thing in Bangladesh, so we get a small smartphone within 3000 taka. It means less than 300 USD, or no, sorry, it's less than 100 USD. And within this little amount they can buy a smartphone. So we think it's a powerful device for them. And what their skill they have already, so they have the skill, like they are very much creative. They have their own craft things, like they can good in the stitching, they can good in the handicraft things, do products and many more things. So we design a different curriculum for them, like we design just photography course, and we design for them image quality, product quality ensuring process, and also the graphics design and digital marketing, because this is the courses part of the e-commerce industry. So they are taking these courses, and after that they are taking photos and send it to us through our community lead, and that is the way they are making the money. And after a few days we then realize, we think we need to do more practical work, like because we need to create something raw materials, and also we need to focus on the climate change and the other situations. So we design women in agrotech. So in this project, how our women are get benefited. So in women in agrotech, we design mobile applications and run this application run by our community lead. And this lead, she is going different home and ask them what they want to do actually. So because in our Bangladesh, everybody have some land beside their home. So the community lead advised them, you can use this land, and you can produce some crop here. So, but the problem is they don't know which land is better for which type of crop. Like some people want to produce like mangoes, guavas, bananas, this type of food. But they don't know actually what type of fertilizer they need to use and how they can make the fertilizer. So in this application they get all the information, like how we are measuring the they are how we are testing their soils actually. We are test the soil because the we already research on the full Bangladesh, and we have the 64 district data, and and all the union soil testing result over there. Because actually if we think we need to, we can do it in like IoT model, like we can create a device and we can pick the soil, then we can do the test. But I think that will be expensive for the rural women. So we just collect all the data and test it with through the scientists, and we insert in the applications, and they just take the application, and the way they are producing their crops on that land, and whatever they are able to produce, like it can be anything. So they are send it to different markets, and they are also sending to our marketplaces. So they can directly get benefited through this app, because they are getting money directly. There are no middlemen work in this relation. So this is the way women in agrotech is work in the rural Bangladesh. And we have another model that we call it women in cyber security. So when we are bringing women in the cyberspace, like women in social media, women in our website, so in that time, what we face, our girls, they're facing some problem, like some people trying to chat with them, some people save their pictures and trying to blackmailing them. So there's something happening in our network, so we want to keep them safe in our network, and we design women in cyber security. So they are taking all the training and all the programming knowledge, and how can they protect themselves in cyber world, all the things, and how can they connect with the local police, so they can all the information in that section. And so now I come in our mission actually. So our mission is very simple. So we want to bring more and more women in tech and to make them financial independence through internet. Because if we think about only technology, so technology, then people are not considering internet over there. But if we connect both together, then they can do anything what they want to do, especially learn and earn comes together in that sense. And so far, we have started in 2013, and till today, we train more than 14,000 students in rural, urban area, and more than actually 8,000 women are contributing directly in our digital economy. So Pooja will share her story. So this is the way there are a lot women, they come to us and they are earning money, because I believe financial independence very much matter in a women life. And we are doing different type of courses, like um, uh, small course to high level, basic to advanced level courses in our online platform and offline platform, so that they can earn money through us, or we can connect them different marketplaces and different company. And here is interesting thing I want to share with you all. That is, when I started this women in digital, in that time I started with very basic programming language. Like it is very small programming language, like they can develop a landing page within writing a small HTML coding, the very basic things. But within 9 years, now we are confident we can, our girls already adopt like advanced technology like blockchain, like IoT, AI, and they are working for the different clients. And we already have developed one our own NFT marketplace, and I believe this is the first NFT marketplace in Bangladesh and also in Asia Pacific. So this is the way actually our girls are working in different high tech things. And to encouraging women, we are designing different projects like hackathon, digital innovation challenge, girls up escalator, to encouraging our women. And we are the company who is organized first time in Asia Pacific National Hackathon for Women. And this is we have organizing so many campaigns for women, so that they can feel good, then they can confident and come to us and work with us. And in 2021, we have faced one problem in the pandemic time. Lots of women, they are complaining us, they are getting they are not feeling safe in the cyberspace, because they are in that time the women start Facebook business in Bangladesh, very much commonly business happening in that time in Bangladesh, and they are facing lots of flooding cases. So in that time, we launched one thing, and what we have observed, there are women, they don't know how to use the Facebook or social media properly. So we launched cybersecurity, women in digital cybersecurity awareness month. It will be always in the September. So in the September month, we will always do more and more campaign, like rural area, urban area, and everywhere. So we'll start more and more campaign. We'll do the more and more campaign in the September. So declared it September Cybersecurity Awareness Month for women. And we connected our police and other ministries in this project. And we also support our community, like we are working with very marginalized people. So in the pandemic, what we realized, our student parents, they're losing their work, and then they are facing problem, and they are very much facing problem to get the food. They're earning the something for their daily food. So we provided them the foods. So there are lots of things we are doing, and here is another story. So this girl is 95% burnt. She come to us and we teach the technical things. Now she's working in another multinational company as UI UX designer. So this is the way we are working, and we are working with some big organization like A4AI, Hour of Code, ITU, UNDP, Spring, World Wide Web, and many more actually. And this is the company we are also providing the services. And the thing is, I'm very much proud of Lumina Day because all the women engineer working here, and they are working all the high tech things nowadays, like the software. They are developing software, mobile application, all those things. And we launched recently one software for the our women community named Build to, because our women entrepreneur, what we face, our women entrepreneur are not very much good in the maintaining their accounts. So that is why they are not getting the loan, and they are not good in the bank. They are not in the banking process. So we develop a small application for them, so they can keep track record for their regular work and regular money transaction and regular accounts. So this is and there are lots of applications I have just showing you guys, because these all the application developed by all women engineers. And this is our client list, and this is the power things for women in digital, like which is everyday revenue, the money. So one important thing is, actually I am trying to develop a model where women are not looking for too much. Women are not dependent on donation. Women can earn their own money, and after that they just contribute or they can donate to other women. So now I want to invite Pooja, so she can able to describe her journey, how she connect with us, and how she feel about us. Pooja.
Thank you, Neela Babu. Can you hear me?
Yes, Pooja, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I am Koyulika Roy Pooja. I am from a Bangladeshi small village. I have joined Women in Digital as an ambassador. Now I am working as a web developer in Women in Digital. So I want to share how and why I have joined Women in Digital. I have a little bit interest in technology, but I don't have any idea how can I build my career through it. I have joined one of Women in Digital hands-on workshop, and I get a chance to learn about programming, photography, content writing, etc. So I feel more interest in tech, but still that one workshop was not enough for me. I feel more hungry to learn. I was thinking about how can I join the community, and within a few minutes that magical moment happened in my life. Women in Digital founder Miss Tasia Neela asked an open question to the audience that who wants to work with us. I did not miss the opportunity. I realized and I raised my hand. That was the start. I have taken a lot of training from Women in Digital. I represent Women in Digital in different districts and try to bring more women into our community. I have taken training from Women in Digital and given training to the community. So suddenly, for my family reason, I have disconnected from the Women in Digital for 2 years. After 2 years, I want to back, and I feel very shy to inform Women in Digital that I am out of technology. But surprisingly, they did not forget me. They call me, and I am back in my second home. Still, I am learning from Women in Digital and earning from Women in Digital also. And I do my leadership practice through Women in Digital. This is Women in Digital, which change our lives, uh, makes us confident, and gives us the opportunity to represent ourselves in global market. So that's all about myself.
Thank you, Pooja. And thank you, Neela, for that fantastic presentation. And I think,
Thank you
yeah,
also.
thank you so much. I think they were very experiential and you spoke from your heart. Thank you for sharing everything with us. Um, we are running a little short of time, so I'll quickly rush on to the Q&A. So if you have any questions, Meera has already raised her hand, but before we get to her, there's a question from Sunaina from TechnoServe. Meera, give us a minute to finish this question and come back to you. And the question from Sunaina is for Sharbani and Neela both. She asks, what is the education level of trainers and adolescent girls who are beneficiaries, and what are some challenges faced by trainers and trainees? Any of you can go first.
Should I go?
Yeah, yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay. So the question is actually how we what is actually their education qualification. So the thing is, women in digital is consider the girls, those who going to schools and they can read the ABCD and they can make a small English word. That's it. And after that, we just speak them and we are working with them because if we start from ABCD, that will be really tough for me. And technology depends fully on English. So, and we are very much focused on to connect it with the job market. So that is why we need to be a bit educated by kids. So that is why we just pick them. And so the thing is actually in the technology field, there's lots of things to you can do. Like you don't need to be a rocket scientist, or you don't need to think like I will be a web developer like Pooja. Pooja have a good education. That is why she is become a web developer. But there are not, but those who are not able to do that, they can do in web sector, but they can do as a data anti developer. Like
Yeah.
we have developed lots of e-commerce websites, so they can uh, uh, in update our website, entering the product uploading work. So that is another part of the web development work. So they can also say I
Yeah.
am a web developer.
Yeah,
That is
that's a
the way we are actually
yeah.
yeah
Yeah, that's a
working.
very important point that in the digital space there is scope for people from different levels of education, different levels of understanding to play a role.
Yeah.
And it's very important to find that role for them. Thank you for that, Neela. Sharbani, did you want to share anything? Um, Sharbani, I think, Sharbani, are you there? Oh, I think we just lost her, but she did mention a response on the chat. She says that the women in her project have basic literacy, 10th grade or 12th grade, very similar to what Neela was also talking about. So I hope that answers your question, Sunana. But if you want to, have more conversation around this, I'm happy to facilitate a discussion with both of the speakers as well. Quickly jumping to Medha. Medha, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Ritesh. My question was for Neela. I just wanted to understand the model that we are following. Number one is that you told that our trainees are also providing services to a lot of other partners that we have. Number two is, have we also partnered with software companies where we get them directly hired to those companies?
Yes, dear. So we have do that. We have making lots of partnership with the software companies and also universities for the industrial training. So we do that. Because actually we are trying to give them the work. So that is why we need to do that. And another thing we are doing very much frequently, that is we are partnering with the online marketplaces because that's very important place, and the global market is connected with that marketplaces. So when we are doing the partnership with them, so we can get easily their access, and uh, that is the way actually we are able to connect our kids with these platforms, and that is the way we are actually collecting work from them.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Medha, and thank you, Neela, for that. I think we are sort of running a little tight on time, so I guess we will have to wrap up the Q&A very fast. But if you have any further questions, as I mentioned earlier, do write to me and I will connect you to the speaker or speakers that you want to connect with or ask questions. And so that, the conversation may continue. I'm sure, I mean, I had a lot of questions that I wanted to ask, but I'll sadly have to skip it now. Um, so before we close the day, we wanted to take a few minutes to inform you about something separate, a special feature that we have been working on the Community of Practice site. And we are all excited about this. I hope you will be too. Neela, Sharbani, Pooja, Vandana, Manisha, we will bore you for a few minutes. Do bear with us. But coming back to what I was saying, that we are very excited about this feature, and I hope you will be too. Um, but without breaking any suspense, let me hand it over to Sharon, who you all know as the site tutorial lady from our. She's from our partner organization, Dev Global. She will share more details. Sharon, take it away.
Thank you, Ritesh. As a reminder, hi, my name is Sharon. I am a junior consultant with Dev Global and have been supporting Ritesh and Ravi with our Women Connect Challenge community of practice site. We are currently in an event, and we are looking forward to having more webinars in the coming months. And I just wanted to share the event capabilities of the site. And so I will share my screen in a moment, but as we are connecting to the screen, I want to talk about some of the benefits of using the Women Connect Challenge community of practice site as our event portal. So one of the few things is, for example, in this event, we have had the Q&A, and maybe there are additional questions that are there around what has been discussed. So you can use the event space as somewhere where you can engage in conversations and engage with the materials. Also, if you wish to view this event, there will be a recording on the events page, so you'll be able to view this content after the event is already has already occurred, come back, reference materials from the video, as well as having the kind of first come, first serve access to events. So if you're able to find the event on the site, you'll be able to get information as it is uploaded. You'll also be able to engage with the information as you see fit. So as you can see now, I hope everyone can see my screen. We're currently in the homepage of the Women Connect Challenge Community of Practice site. And there are currently two ways that you can access the events page. So first, we have the upcoming events portal. So if you click on all upcoming events, you should be taken to the events page. Similarly, you can go to the resources drop-down menu. And if you click down, you can see events here. And both of them will direct you to the same space. So you click here, and you go to the events page. So as you can see here, we have the event that we're currently in that is already been inputted, but here is a test event. So I wanted to show how you would join an event. So if we click on the event, you can see there's a banner. You can see who the organizers are, the date. You can comment, like, and here there would be a description of the event. So if this is an event you want to join, you would click enroll. And now you have enrollment access. And once you've enrolled, you will be able to join the meeting. So if you click join meeting, you will get a Zoom link. That will lead you to the event. So the next time you join, you'll be able to get the Zoom link from the event site. But in regards to the capabilities I mentioned before, you can be able to curate the content that you receive on the site. So if you follow content, the next time something is posted on the site that's related to events tutorial, you'll be able to get notified about that information. So similarly, today we've talked about digitizing rural communities. If that was content that you are interested in and you followed, the next time there would be a blog or an article related to that information, you would be notified. Also, we sent out a calendar invite, and we will continue to do so just to ensure that everyone, including those who don't have access to the site, are able to attend events. But if you wish to add it to a different calendar, you have that capability. And so we look forward to your engagement. And if you have any questions, do send them over at wcc@dai.com. Yes, thank you. I think I will give the floor to Ritesh for any final remarks.
Thank you, Sharon. Uh, as Sharon sort of mentioned, and I'm sure you can see it, that we are constantly working on the community of practice website, trying to make it better. And the whole idea is to be able to build this community. The grant awards and the project implementation is one part of it, but the whole idea is to be able to build this community within, uh, you know, uh, with all of us together, which sort of constantly engages on gender digital divide. And we will keep on working on this community of practice website to make it more engaging, more enriching. And I hope you sort of find it interesting as well. And it's great if you do. If you feel that it still sort of lacks and needs to develop, do still keep engaging on it. And that's how you will encourage us to make it better. So thank you, Sharon, for that. I also wanted to specifically thank our speakers today, going back to our actual content of the program, and for sharing their valuable time and sharing their learnings and experiences with them. Um, Personally, both Shorbani and Neela, I have been a big fan of their work. So thank you so much. We have been talking about finding a way to collaborate, and we now finally had a chance. I'm so glad that you were able to make the time. Vandana Tai, Manisha Tai, Pooja, all of you, thank you so much for joining in. And to end, I wanted to thank all of you, the awardee organizations, colleagues from USAID, Reliance Foundation, Dev Global, and well, not from DAI, Ravi couldn't join in today, but she will be here next time. And I look forward to seeing all of you in our next episode of Speaker Series 2 on the 16th of, on the 19th of May. So wish you a great morning and a great evening ahead. Goodbye. Thank you.